Hello, welcome, what's good everyone? Tone here, and welcome back to part 2 of my look at Nadir, a Grimdark deck builder. So part 1, we looked at, just kind of, I did an overview, we talked about a lot of the mechanics and just kind of like show things off in the game. I want to finish off on part 2 here, is wrap up the full run that we had started last time, just so we can get a full run archived and documented here on the channel, and so you guys can see what the end of a run looks like. As we go, and I guess we can look at the meta progression between runs with our new currency after that, because we only took a very quick look at that last time. But this will probably be a little bit more laid back, casual. Like I don't have to like explain like everything like again. So we're gonna have some fun here, experiment a bit, and when we see new mechanics, we'll get some new stuff to talk about. But we'll just have some fun and play the game here. So I'm glad to have you guys along for the ride with me. Before we do get started here, I'll do my usual reminder that if you guys would like to support this channel and my other work, you can do so over at patreon.com/tonehack, so please check that out if you would like. And let's start right back where we left off. And this isn't the current ring, is it? Oh, I guess it is. That ring looks more active than our current one. Oh well. So this is the thing where it lets you leave early and take your resources back with you, but it's also, I almost went and said it's like a campfire in STS. I want to stop doing that. I want to stop comparing every deck builder to STS. I need to put a quarter in the jar every time I make a STS comparison, because that's not even like that comparison is not necessary here. I don't have to say this is like a campfire to explain that this also lets you, well, they use the word rest, so maybe I should say it. But just to say that this lets you heal or remove a card from your deck. Let's see what else we have here. Did we do our combat yet? I guess not. I think we have to take our combat here. It's always the first thing we have to do. Rotten intestines. Having all this gross hell shit, hellish shit is a lot of fun as well. Just an interesting aesthetic to play in. So this guy is kind of neat. They have two sides that are cards that charge up really well or quickly on both sides, just one pip, and then a big fiver in the middle here. So they basically do 6 damage on these outside cards, but they have a breaking and a piercing effect. The middle one, it gives them precise 4, which means they do double damage on their attacks, and this one shields them for 3. And they have 60 health. Okay. Breaking removes shields. I'm gonna start with Rage. We'll let our armor soak this damage. So that Rage will help us scale. And also maybe we find like a big attack here that we can use on our starting critical hit, which we get from our Alexander of Macedon. Nothing like that here. We have some stigma appliers here. Let's get some armor here. Okay, this looks like a fight where we don't want to give them rage and boost this up to 8 damage every time. I'm going to avoid playing that. Here is a 30 damage hit, and I have Precise, which I think will double that, which would nearly one-shot them. But I can't do that without charging this all the way up, which might be hard to do without dealing damage and burning through my Precise pip again. So let's just go ahead and start doing damage to this guy, I guess. And get these like low damage cards out of my hand. Let's get that stigma applied, which will help with some of our other cards. Man, all these cards are so bad. It's okay, we're still just chipping at our armor for now. This was the other one I was looking for. Sacrifice armor. To get a big hit on them. I like this. Let's get a flank in our hand. I'm avoiding playing this piercing because it'll actually do damage to our raw health. Desperate blow. Kinda like that. 13 damage. We save this for last because if we can end the fight, then we don't take the bleeding damage. That's the damage over time. Guess I'll take more damage. I'm down to 1 armor. Just chipping away at this guy's health. I feel like my deck is terrible. Do I have good cards in here? I have 10 damage here. That's stealth, so I can just play it. I can do 13. Take on bleeding. Let's redraw. It'll flip these cards over so I don't have to give him precise pips or anything. It'll give him 1 shield, but I think we can burn through that. I feel like we'll be... And also my cards in my hand didn't feel that great. These will flip over, so I can hopefully just kill him by playing blue cards right now. Oh, whoops, I forgot. Forgot they had a shield up. I guess that was the only way I was going to do damage anyways. Are you kidding me? I just need a card that says damage on it. Okay, so I'm going to play my shielded. I don't want it on breaking because breaking ignores shielded. So I want it to pop this. And that way I don't take damage when he does 6 damage back to me. And hopefully I draw a card that says does damage on it. Here we go, deals 8 damage. Another stealth card, 4 damage 5 times. This feels like it scales really well with strength. It also applies 3 stigma. I think this one's intriguing too. 12 damage with a boost. Because I feel like we are going through our deck, cycling it a decent amount. Do 8 damage to ourselves to gain 2 rage. This rage actually goes to us. I don't like that. And then maybe one of these two. I don't know if I want this 3-cost card, so I'm just going to go with this. Let's see how that plays. Maybe we can make our deck smaller at some point. So let's dismantle a card. Get rid of this one. I despise that card every time it shows up. I'll take another fight here. The starved vagrant. Look at this gross dude. Okay. So all of these cards give him counter. If I flip the middle red, then the middle blue has a pretty big charge up on it to let us get a lot of our cards in. Okay, I think I just need to start playing cards. I honestly don't know if the 2 shielded is worth bleeding in this case. I guess it wins out overall. I don't think I fully heal on my next rung down the ring though, so not taking extra damage here it would be good for us. Look at this, I can't play either of these. But look at the Master Slash. I can't play this though. I can actually even get the Master Slash in. That's too bad. Wow. Guess we're just gonna play this because I don't have much else I can do, and I don't want to just redraw and give him counter. Maybe we want to take damage so I can start popping this, playing this at less than 50% health. I could see this a deck where this character plays really strong at low health, just getting a bunch of these and then applying a lot of shields and stuff. Let's play stealth for free. Gain shielded again. I swear my deck feels so bad like this whole time, and this is the first run of this game I've played. I've played like, I don't know, 3 or 4 runs before where it has felt this bad. Am I about to just give this guy like a ton of counter? Yeah, did I get rid of like all my single cost red cards? I guess I did, except for this one, which I never play because it's not very good. It's always better than the blue that was on the other side, so maybe I think that's one thing that I did wrong here, because I can't play any of these. I'm about to give him a ton of counter. I'm just gonna redraw then. Flip these over, and you can get 2 counter instead of 6. I don't take damage here. Two piercing damage 2 times, so I think this will eat up both of his counters. Nice. Perfect. And this one makes me take 8 damage. I gain 2 rage. This will do 24 damage. I'll take 18 back, and then I decrease all my buffs by 2. I guess I'll take advantage of my rage before I do that. Okay, and this just kills. Sweet. Okay, so my deck is starting to feel a bit bloated, so I think I need to be really picky about what cards I take. This is interesting. Gain 2 rage, gain 2 weak. So this immediately has no effect, but as your weak pips go away, you get stronger. 8 damage and 8 armor feels pretty good too. I'll take both of those. I'm down to experiment here. I'm like never going to keep a slim deck like I was just saying we wanted, because I just want to experiment with this stuff. Hideous gnarl. This guy's just like a lump of flesh with a bunch of mouths on it. Erase the highest buff. This erases the highest buff on them. And they have a bunch of things that add shields. It looks like we're supposed to let them stack shields and then pop this to remove the buff, which is again, this is like such an interesting like way to play with these mechanics. Like, I love that part of this game. Alright, let's build up some rage here. I think those are bad on the same card, because I actually want to build up rage and then play this big hit. So I should move those around next time. Oh, look at this. I have my attack here. Oh, this guy starts with 5 shields. I was gonna say I could kill them with sacrifice right now. Okay, I'm glad we noticed, or I noticed that. I think I almost want to use this immediately to make them lose their 5 shields. Or where are all those cards that do 2 damage twice that I don't like? That's what I need to be playing right now. I'm gonna play shielded here then, because I'm probably gonna absorb this hit. It's too bad that I have to blow my my critical hit on one of their shields. Okay, well, we got rid of all of their shields now. They have so many ways of gaining more shield, and I haven't taken damage yet. Oh, this is going to be good. The flank. Because this guy's pretty low health now without shield, so this stealth will help me do 10 damage without flipping a card. I need to find 3 damage here. Or 12 damage here. Can't quite do that without giving them shields. But this 8 damage doesn't get through my armor still and only gives them 1 shield back. It's too bad I can't play that and then keep this, because breaking goes through shields, but I think we're going to do that. So now I have to take down your shield. Okay, I think this is a kill. If I play this and then this. Sweet. 12 damage boosts again. That sacrifice armor card again. Sacrifice rage. Deal damage equal to our rage status value times 10. That could be a big hit. Does each point of rage we get give us 10 damage of value throughout a fight? The early ones probably do, but not the later ones. That's interesting. It only costs 1 to play, but this is also like kind of worthless if we don't have rage. I don't think our deck has enough rage going on yet for us to really take that. Gain 4 counter with stealth if we have stigma applied. That's pretty solid. I like this. 16 breaking damage, but then we gain 2 weak. I see myself grabbing like that. I think having 2 of these cards in our deck doesn't make sense because we can't sacrifice our armor twice in close succession. I'm gonna skip this. If there was a better blue there that I liked more, I think we would have kept it. We get to pick another damned. At the start of battle, the enemy gains 5 decay. They suffer damage equal to the status value every time it receives damage. Oh, so this is like 5, 9, 12, 14, 15 damage throughout a fight, potentially. At the start of the battle, gain 5 protection. All armor gained by the character is increased by the protection value. This feels like the strongest one I've seen so far. And I was actually just thinking to myself when we were looking at all those cards that we didn't have like a source of protection yet. So I need to swap him with... Oh, it did already. Sigmund Freud there. Cool. So these are our active ones. So now we get a crit and 5 protection at the start of the battle. Character development again. Yeah, I want to look at the card shop first this time. I think this, at a minimum, replaces is a straight upgrade to the 2 damage twice one. Then I kind of like this. I'm gonna grab that. Oh, this circle doesn't let us mess with our deck though. I have to wait till I get down here to actually use those. That's awkward. I thought you always had that on the same tier as this, but maybe now that I unlocked character development, like these tiers are getting crowded and we don't get to do as much on them. Yeah, because it's a little awkward. I have to wait a long time to get the benefit from that. I have some money left. How do I... Maybe if I buy this... What is this? This gives us a card. Gain 5 Martyr. Which I don't know what that does. Why can't I unlock these? Is that a meta progression thing? Unlock more of the character growth? It would be so dumb if that was. Because this one unlocked automatically when I just bought something adjacent to it. Oh, that's 100% what it is. This is just locked, and these are not connected to an acquired skill. Okay, I guess we have to get some meta progression. Where's that card that we just picked up? Martyr. Every time a character with Martyr status loses hit points, the rage level is increased by 1. Afterwards, the value of Martyr is reduced by 1. Wow, and it combines with bleeding? That is actually incredible. Again, I can't put it on a card. I'm gonna skip this combat. We just healed to full. We have an elite combat, a forced elite combat on this rung. We have Cerberus, which in this world is a guy with 3 maggot heads. Big tanky boy with 140 health. And some effects that take a long time to charge up on that side. This feels like we want to try and just like kill them before we use any of these sides. But it starts here. 8 damage protection, 8 damage 20 armor, 16 damage 15 armor. If we redraw, they get armor and protection. Again, protection means they get more armor whenever they gain armor. I guess I will start playing cards. I can't play a lot down here, so our choices are simple. I think I will do this so I can play this block card, which actually looks way more appealing now that I start with 5 protection. This is giving me 17 armor instead of 12, just right off the bat. It's almost a 50% efficiency increase. I'm just going to gain that armor. That's defensive, but we can also use it offensively because I have a card that sacrifices our armor for damage. I think I'm just going to lay this 20 damage on you as well. I'm going to take the 17 armor again. These went from bad to good with that relic. Or doing the STS thing again, put a quarter in the jar. With these damned, I should say. Apply 2 stigma. Implode does stigma damage. 4 times the stigma. I don't think we're going to be doing that anytime soon. It's actually probably a bad card in our deck because we are not generating a lot of stigma right now. Just get our stealth hit in. We're chipping him away pretty good so far. 5 damage, add 1 flank to your hand. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to take 16 damage here. I'm giving them 16 armor. This flank becomes really good too. 15 armor. Stealth. 2 rage, 2 weak. Feels like a Fast and the Furious sequel. That gives them 21 armor if I play that. I feel like I'm supposed to try and redraw to skip him from playing either of these. 21 armor is a lot. Although this is a good one for us to charge up before using our redraw. I just don't have any single blues. Eight damage 3 times. I was going to use this for armor, but I just use this for the damage. We're getting pretty close. Oh, this is 25 armor? Okay, actually, I'll do that. We'll gain 25 armor. They'll gain 21. If I get my sacrifice armor card, we're getting pretty close to something that kills. I have to proc this, which is going to do 8 damage to us 3 times. Man, this armor becomes really good with that protection too. That's an insane bonus we're getting from Oliver Cromwell here. It's funny that these are real people. Like, just the context. Like, this is like really good with that. Alright, I'll just take the 8 damage 3 times. This card sucks. Let's just play and get out of her hand. Implode. He has no stigma. Because we erased it. Erased the highest debuff. 10 damage. You need a pretty diverse deck too. Like with that, we erased their stigma, so I can actually like get value out of it. Like there are a lot of bosses that I think will hard counter like certain like strategies or whatever. So you got to have a diverse deck. Play this stealth for free now. Sacrifice armor kills. Nice. I was basically fishing for that, and that's why I was trying to avoid taking damage. It's because I didn't want to, like, blow all my armor. But that worked out. Gain 3 precise and 2 rage. This is actually nuts. This is the first card I've seen, and I think this is a new one that I unlocked before this run, that gives us precise mid-bite instead of just starting with it, which means we could set up a huge hit with that. So I'm gonna take that, even though it's gonna be hard to play. I just feel so strong. I don't know if it's good. I think I like having not a lot of these 3-cost cards in my deck, but I think it'll be fun to play with. I'm just looking to have some fun on this run. What does Burn do? Card with Burn will knock into the discard pile after use and is unavailable for the rest of the battle. I am not going to compare that to STS's similar mechanic. So it means we can play that one if we are not bleeding. We do have a lot of cards that apply bleeding to us, and even playing this once is pretty good. Although that does mean it burns whatever we pair it with, which would be this for now. Here's another one of those 50% or lowers. I'll grab that. I don't know if we're ever gonna get below 50% health, But if we do, we're going to have a stronger deck for it. Alright, that was the only thing on this tier. We're moving down. You have to fight first. You always have to fight first thing on the tier. The Drunken Devil. What the heck is coming out of your mouth? No, I don't have booze for you, demon. See, looks like they inflict a lot of status effects on us. They have piercing damage, which we don't like because we build up a lot of armor. They have some really cheap cards on that side. Man, it's amazing how much those 12 armor cards came up in value for me. Whoa! Did you guys just see what happened? I played this, suffer 10 damage to gain 2 rage. It critical hit myself! I feel like the game shouldn't do that. I mean, I like a game where, like, you have to be really careful with that stuff, but it's a little unintuitive, and it kind of like punishes the player. So I don't know. If a game's like upfront that it's going to be like brutal, I like that kind of thing. And if there's a lot of cases where that stuff kind of happens, you have to be like more aware of that. I like that quite a bit. I feel like that's not what a lot of like developers should be doing with their games, though, because most players are going to hate seeing that. And also there's this kind of like, it's not a rule, but games feel a lot better to play when every time when there's like an interaction that's going to happen where you're like not quite sure how it's going to work out. If you allow those to work out in the player's favor, it kind of it encourages them to experiment more and interact with the game more. And that's a time where that worked against our favor. It's good to know. And I don't really mind it too much personally now that I know that's how that works. But I was not expecting that. Interesting. So I just lost... I took 10 more damage than I needed to. It's completely unnecessary too. I could have just played those in a different order. Alright, let's just start doing damage to them now. 6 damage 2 times, so this will take care of that. This is a piercing attack, which will get through my armor. I gotta be careful about that for sure. Sacrifice armor. I wonder if we can just get a kill with what's in our hand here pretty soon. Stealth is free, and yes, sacrifice armor will get the closing kill, and I don't have to worry about the bleeding damage when it's the last hit. Beautiful. Add 2 Holy Strike to your hand. This is new. 15 breaking damage, stealth ethereal. 15 piercing damage, stealth ethereal. Or ethereal stealth for some reason. For some unexplicable reason. Just keep those consistent. I'm just gonna completely overlook this though, because this is 3. It's just hard to play. This needs to do a lot for me to want to play that. Although it does add 2 of these. This is basically doing 30 damage that bypasses the enemy's defenses, which is pretty good. Gain 3 protection. And if you have Stigma applied, it has stealth. This is really good. 5 armor, if used for the first time, it deals damage as well. Since we have start with 5 protection, that's pretty good. I kind of want to take this. I don't see a blue card that I like to pair it with though, so I'm just going to skip. Get another damned. I'll take this to K5-1. And I'm actually going to equip that right away over this critical hit one. Because I feel like this critical hit one, we often gets like wasted on like a cheap attack. I guess sometimes there's big attacks on there. I don't know. We're going to try out the decay one. I feel like that one's easier to get value out of all the time, whereas the other one sometimes like gets like huge value just inconsistently. Alright, what kind of character development we have here now? I want the other armor one, so I'm going to spend this and then grab the thing that gives me +5 armor. Okay. I have to make an STS reference here because this gives us a card called Ironclad. Just sacrifice armor. But it costs 3. Again, that's kind of awkward. This is the last rung, so I shouldn't be shy about using all of my monies. Oh, I can increase my domination, which allows me to take another damned. That sounds good. Immediately gain the damned Friedrich Nietzsche. Sure. Every time you play wide slash, gain 1 shielded. Interesting. How many wide slashes do I have? 1. 1. Oh, I have another one. I can put it in a card. Nice. And I think I can equip all of those now. Or... okay, I have 4 I can equip because I raised my domination, so I'll get the precise guy back. And then deck change lets me play with our cards here. So what components do I have here that we want to get into our cards? Let's take that out. Actually, this is like a complete blank slate. I want to get that other wide slash in. Oh, that was on my card. It was grayed out. That was the one that I already had, so that's all I had actually. That's too bad. Let's do the Saint's Blood though, get that Martyr. And I guess I'll throw in this Stigma generating card. Whoops. Doing that thing again. We also had this, which I'm going to dismantle a card before I edit my deck. Okay, so what card pieces do I want to get onto cards? These are all kind of these are my 5 starting blue cards actually. What else do I have here? Deal 10 damage, 8 armor is really good. These 3 damage 2 times are pretty good for like clearing shield and like other statuses like that, like counter. I don't know what the last boss here has. If we knew that, we would know whether we wanted those in our deck or not. Kind of like this, gain 1 shielded in 1 week. Here's one of those that gives us Stigma as well. 3 damage 2 times in Stigma. I like these 3. I have a lot of red cards I like, but not blue ones. So do I have any red sides in here that I don't like that much? This one that gives their opponent rage, get rid of that. I'm gonna throw in the Iron Fist. Because I think I don't want to have an easy to play red card with that. What other reds do I not like here? 12 armor. Those got good though. I think this 2 Stigma 20 armor one is not that great. Let me get the Rage, Protection, Bleeding. So I had a card that wanted us to bleed, right? Or is that just something we saw? The Martyr wants us to bleed because we need to lose HP to proc it. And then there was something that was conditional if bleeding. I don't remember if that was one we took or not. Doesn't look like we took that one. Are there any blues I wanted to get rid of here? Not really. Any more reds we want to get rid of? I'm gonna get rid of this implode stigma thing. I don't think we're generating enough stigma to warrant this. I want the shielded or the 3 damage 2 times stigma applier. It's nice getting the stigma on, and this clears some of those debuffs. I think the shielded could be pretty strong depending on what this last boss does. He probably has some big hits. Let's just go ahead and grab that. Huh, did I not take the card that gave us 3 precise? Oh, it was a red one, that's why, okay. I'll roll with this. Yellow, right? There should just be a button or way to instantly get back to the ring you're on. Alright, looks like we're done here. On to the final boss fight. Beelzebub. NetHack fans know all about this guy. Hath the Luncheon been serveth? Alright, what do you got here? 9 damage 3 times with a boost 1. Scary. Weak, whatever. 3 pips for weak is a pretty good deal on our end, for us, I think. Bleeding 3. 36 damage. 6 pips. Rust, which chips away at our armor, I think. 9 damage and then 5 decay. 27 damage and 4 bleeding. So yeah, this guy has some big hits. 200 health. He starts with... Oh, that's decay. That's what our Guy Fawkes is hooking us up and putting decay on them. Well, this will probably be a longer boss fight, so let's just build up some rage to start. Oh, do I take the shielded? Just gonna block this guy. It's probably fine. Let's do this first. That was my crit. Just fine. It did what? 18 damage or something. Now, why couldn't I crit with this? It would have been 60 armor damage. Oh, draw order. Such a troll sometimes. That's why I don't care for that starting precise that much. You just... It's harder to line up with something. I could get a free stealth play, or I could wait and get 1 rage, 2 protection, 2 bleeding, which I think that's better. Although the only way I can flip one of these cards is playing Sacrifice, which gets rid of all my armor before I take a ton of damage. Although... This is 9 damage 3 times, I have 2 shield. Screw it. Let's go all in. I think we generate armor pretty well now that we have 5 protection. Three reds. Do I have my triple red card? I have 2 of them. So let's do rage, protection, bleeding. Damage, 15 armor. Start getting our armor back up. Martyr? Heck yeah. And we have bleeding already to pretty much chip down that whole martyr effect. So martyr is going to give us +1 strength every time we lose hit point damage, which should happen every time we bleed. And yep, it already chipped down from 5 to 4, so we're going to start scaling really well here. Dude, here's the precise one too. Yeah, I think we're going to shred this guy. And that gives us 2 rage. And final boss time. Time to use our health as a resource. This is 33 damage, which is going to get doubled. 66, that's what I'm talking about. Just make sure I don't play this Berserk, because I'm going to crit myself and this would kill me instantly. Look at this, gain shielded and weak. So I can shield this 36 damage. Blocked. Forgot about the rust though. What does rust do again? This is 1 point of armor for each point of rust after playing a card. Yeah, that really hurts our armor. But who cares, because I'm just going to crit you for 39 times 2 damage. Wow, so we pulled together a pretty strong deck at the end there. Which, I guess we had those card pieces, but it was really... I had to wait till that second to last tier to actually put them into our cards. It'd be nice if the shop let you swap those out like immediately, which it had done in the past, but I think I unlocked some new nodes with meta progression and it bumped the deck alterator around, the deck customization into a different rung, which is awkward. But yeah, I guess we did build a pretty good deck there. We just weren't able to use the cards until the end. And that could have been a good draw order overall, and these guys like really showed up. Our crew of Nietzsche and Guy Fawkes and all those guys. But yeah, Beelzebub defeated, the Lord of the Flies, the master of the sin of gluttony, had to fly away defeated. He'll return someday, but what a humiliation it was. Now it's time to return to Nadir, prepare for a new expedition, and bring terror upon another mighty opponent. New buildings available, Throne of Want. I think we upgraded that one already. Oh my gosh, I accidentally started a new run. That should be more clear. Continue? I was just like, continue the text dialogue, but what it actually means is, do you want to start another run? I totally don't. I don't know what that did for my currency here. I think it meant I didn't get any currency back, or I got like less back. Yeah, I guess I didn't get any because I can't unlock anything new. Maybe just got a little bit. I need more of this stuff, so I don't know. I guess there's not much to say about the meta progression. We can look at what some of these like next unlocks are going to be. Start each new expedition with some extra obols. Unlocks greed enemies and a new resource, idols. Okay, so this unlocks a new type of enemy. So we only saw gluttony enemies on that last area. There's also wrath enemies, which I'm surprised we only saw one type. This unlocks greed enemies, so it's another sin and another like enemy type. And then it gives us a new meta progression currency, I guess, called idols, which is up here. Pulse gods, K-pop and such. That's funny. Obtained from greed enemies. Okay, that's why we didn't get any of these skulls, because these are from wrath enemies. And we didn't see any of them. So I guess we gotta go to the wrath boss to see those. But when I did the wrath level, I saw a lot of gluttony enemies too. Maybe I just don't have them unlocked. I don't know what that's all about. What's here? Unlocks more cards in the shop. Unlocks more cards for Cortez. Which I guess is one of the characters that I don't have unlocked yet. Who's Cortez? Here we go. Hernan Cortez. Who would have thought that killing millions of people and destruction of a whole civilization would not grant you redemption? Definitely not Hernan Cortez. Whoops, buddy. That is some funny commentary there. So I'm unlocking more cards here. Oh, there's just like a million cards to unlock. Gosh, this game... every game should have an unlock all button. God dang it. This unlocks more damned. I don't want to... This is just daunting to me. I want to play with all of the damned and all of the cards. But yeah, that's Nadir, a Grimdark Deathbuilder. And really curious to see how these other characters play, how some more of the enemies do. Again, it feels like just me describing it. I'm getting to the point where I'm like, alright, the meta progression is progressing so slow that I'm getting bored of the current variety in the game, and that I want like all the new stuff sooner. Like my onboarding level is faster than this game will let me like see more of it, which is like the main qualm I have about like meta progression systems in general, is that you can't really balance them for all player types. They're kind of fixed for like one level of like player progression, and then everyone else kind of has a bad time. But cool game overall. I thought it would be cool to do a video on this because I just really like those core mechanics, and I could see a lot of reasons why people wouldn't want to actually pick up this game. So glad to show them off here on my channel. But I think the game's pretty cool. I'm gonna play it some more. I might put it down and like wait for it to like follow development a bit as well. But I'm really glad to have checked it out because I think the core game mechanics of it are very cool. Its theming and aesthetic are pretty solid. And a pretty neat game overall. So glad to show that off, but we're going to leave this here for now. So thank you guys so much for watching. As usual, please check out the links in my description of this video if you want to find my Patreon to support, the Discord community, and all that other good stuff. But I am Tone, and I'm signing off. Thank you guys so much for watching me play and talk about Nadir here today. And I will see you all guys for the next one.